Hi everybody, Eugene here with Darkroom Software. In this episode, episode 3, we are going to continue on with what we learned in episode 1. Now, if you're thinking, wait a minute, he skipped a number, there is an episode 2, and that's available for subscribers. I'll show you that in just a moment. But what we're going to do is we learned in episode 1 using a graphic list to add a character in and giving the end user the option to add the character in. In this one, we're going to have a little fun on our end where we control whether that additional character shows up in the print or not. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's jump right in. Okay, so before we get started, let's go to our YouTube channel real quick. Right here, if you see an option that says subscribe, click on that and then refresh your screen, and you should see this video show up. That video is only available to subscribers. It has directions on how and where to go to download your free Halloween themed track mode screen. So if you can do me a big favor, click that subscribe button. Let's go ahead and move on into Darkroom booth. We're going to continue on from what we learned in episode 1. Let's go ahead and start it up. I want you to see how this all works. So there's a track screen. We'll click anywhere on the screen to bypass it. It's going to go through. It should take a picture. And then it'll show us. And we can see that there's nothing going on right here. I'm going to try that one more time. So we'll start it up again. This time I'm going to click my right mouse button and then take a picture. And you should see a new object that shows up. And we got this scary little girl right here. We can then go around, move her around, make her smaller, and we can use this as just for fun to add it to somebody's image when they're not paying attention. And if they don't like it, they can just move it behind or off the screen. So it doesn't affect the image, but you're allowed to have a little bit of fun with people. Okay, so let's see, how do we do this? And we can also do that with our phone. We can control it with our phone rather than the right mouse button. So we're going to exit out and we're going to switch over to our we'll go to our screen template first, and we're going to pick up from where we left off. So we're going to choose this one and click we'll double click to edit it. So we don't need this button anymore because we're controlling it outside of there. And then this option right here, which holds the Frankenstein, we're actually going to go in and edit it and remove Frankie, and then add, and I have my blank PNG. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to add that twice. So when we change the graphic, nothing happens on the screen. Okay, and then just for fun, we're going to update that graphic with the one we just downloaded, and that's so it matches up with our attract mode screen. Okay, so I believe we're done here. We're going to go ahead and save it, and then we're going to go to, we'll choose that one, and then go to our output template. And we're going to edit this one. This is the one we were just using, but we're going back to the original one that we made last week. And we're going to update this list. Move. And then this is the one where we're going to add that creepy little girl with the balloons. So whenever we toggle the graphic list on, it's not going to show up in the screen template, but it will show up on the output template. Now what's really important here is that we want to make sure instead of fixed, it's set to floating, so then we can go in and edit the graphic and move it, just in case we offend somebody or do something that somebody doesn't like and we don't want to ruin their picture. We want to be able to move it. So the graphic is set to floating, and for the image, we'll actually set that to fixed, so we're not trying to grab the image. And if you want to, you can also scoot the image over, and that way you know that they're not going to accidentally have anybody over here that's overlapping when that image shows up, so it's clear and you can still see it. Okay, so we've saved it, and there are two ways to control this because we've removed the controls and we've even removed the start button from the screen. So if we go to our controls menu, you can see that in this situation we're not even using the left mouse button because we're using the track mode, but our right mouse button is set to next graphic and the list is friend. So that's what allows us to click the right mouse button and then change the graphic. Even though we can't see it, we know it's changing. So one more thing that you can do is under booth control. Okay, I'm gonna scan that code and it's gonna take me into booth control. And so now when I go back to events, and then we'll start it one more time, and now I'm going to click the next graphic from my phone. And then when it reviews the image, we can see the image. So I'm all controlling it from my phone. Hopefully I'm able to put this up on the screen so you can see how that all happened. But that is using the booth control or your right mouse button to control your graphic list without your customers knowing. So you give them a little spooky surprise. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.